Greetings, CFSA. This is Robert L. Matthews, Director here, and I'm bringing you this week's edition of Talk Tuesday with the Director. So before I go further, I want to say Happy New Year to CFSA, to all of our staff. I hope that you have had a safe and wonderful holiday season. I hope that you've had time to spend with your own friends and family. And I hope that you're back at work because we have a lot of things to do this year. But before we go any further, I would like to reflect on the end of year celebration, which was exciting. It was so great to see all of the staff come out and the different areas, having food, definitely dancing, having cheers, and also celebrating all of the achievements of CFSA during last year. So I hope that you are able to enjoy and take a few moments to look at the clips.
Welcome to our star-studded event. It is our 2023 year-end event. I am your host, Dr. Keena Blackman. I am the Director of Communications here at CFSA, and I'm so happy to be your host today. And I have my co-host over here, Joseph Jenkins, and he'll introduce himself.
Hello, everyone, again. You know, when we say come out and look and dress to impress, you guys show up every time. Every time. I've never worked with such a group of people who are as gifted as you all are. So today, we're going to celebrate you and all of your accomplishments. Thank you.
We wanted to end this year with everyone looking good and feeling good about their accomplishments. We made this year taking pride in what we do and moving to the new year shining like the stars that we are.
You all look absolutely amazing. I was just saying the other day that my experience this year being the chair of the DC One Fund allowed me to go to a number of DC government agencies and, you know, learn and see. I love my colleagues and the agencies and the work that they do, but boy, I tell you, there's no place like CFSA. It really is. Maybe probably hear us say it often in terms of like, I just think we're really the hardest working agency in DC government. I want you to know, as your director, I understand the stress that our work brings. And if you really pay attention, the city understands that when we do get involved, we respond, we show up. Sometimes it may be a little late, but we show up. I can tell you that I know that you're doing the very best that you can do. And I cannot ask you to do any more than that. This is an incredible agency. You are an incredible workforce. And I just want you to know that I'm so proud to work alongside you and appreciate everything. Lastly, I would say this is the end of year and this is the star-studded stuff. So I see all the little, the brights and the sequins and all that kind of stuff. You all look amazing. So just kind of look around you. Just take a look a gander at people. And how you look. And then for those that didn't participate till next year, you can. I'm sure you can. Again, thank you for today. Let's have some fun.
I love it when the union can participate and help out with these things and work with management to do something like this. And then we can recognize, all the hard work that we've done over the year, and everybody in this room has worked so hard. I just love these events, and let's do this so that we can eat.
Was the chair and he showed up and showed out like Gerald is doing right now. Come on now.
The data analytics team led by Dedrick Wilson. Office of the Deputy Director of Administration. Office of Planning Policy Program Support.
Leaders always give awards, but oftentimes leaders don't get an award. So today, on behalf of the Ops team and Takia, Quality Service Review, and Jennifer Seam, we all in Takia and Ops, thank you. So I'm gonna read it. Director Matthews, CQI champion, for your leadership in fostering a CQI culture of support that drives sustainable change to keep DC families together.
You know I like that.
Thank you.
In Home Not Home. The Office of Hotline and Investigation. OWB, where you at? The Office of Thriving Families.
Ready? Charmin. Jenny. Erica. Miss Taz. One well board for
I was in foster care for the first 12 years of my life. And I made the decision that I wanted to do something to give back in the way that our director talked about today, because unfortunately, when I grew up in foster care, I had more trauma and drama in foster homes and more violations than any of you would ever want to imagine. And I made up in my mind that I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen to other people. And I was elected last year as a Maryland State Delegate representing 6.5 million people in the state of Maryland. People ask me, why are you still at CFSA? And I answer the question with a question: what about the children?
The holidays, and I'm going to use that word because we are diverse in our faiths, but the holidays can be not just for us, but for our families, some of the most stressful times. And so, you know, I was just looking as we were assembling together, the past 2 or 3 years, you know, we've had so many challenges, we've had loss. And when I think about that, makes me appreciate life. And I don't want us to take for granted what we have, individually and collectively. Because we can complain all day about what we don't have. But if you stop and think about what you do have, and then there are others who have less, you will begin to appreciate life that much more. And so when I look out at all of you, I look out at people that I'm telling you, I am thankful to know you, if I know you, but even if I don't, you're part of the CFSA family. And this family is special. Families fight, right?
You got your drunk uncles. All of that is a part of family. But in the end, we come together. We support one another. And that's the heartbeat of this agency. And so what I want to leave you with before we raise our glass is a biblical principle. It says, love your neighbor as yourself. Because if you begin to look out in the world today, if you begin to look out in our communities, how unsafe it may feel. Just think if we spreaded love and care to each other, what our world and what our community would look like and feel like. So I'm challenging us, even as you step out sometimes and things are unsafe or whatever, spread more love. Less hate, more love. So I'm asking you to raise your glasses to see if it says showing more love. Say more love. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.